Hey guys, it's Christina.
And Aman.
And today we have a great video, I think.
I think it's probably our number one requested question or video.
Yes.
And it's how to work abroad. So if you saw our house hacking video, you saw that we live and work in Japan. And we've lived and worked in Spain, and we've traveled the world. And so today we're going to show you about some of the jobs, well actually some of the companies that are hiring right now abroad. So stick around. Okay, so before we start talking about the jobs, I think it's important to also highlight the benefits of working overseas. The benefits for working for a company overseas are huge. And I mean, the number one benefit, I think, is the free housing. So if you can work for a company that pays for your housing, oh my goodness, that's 30% of your income that you can save. What's another benefit?
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, a lot of the companies that we identify here also provide free housing, so we'll get into that. But I think another one of the benefits is the travel. So you're living abroad, you get to travel to all these great places, but in addition to that, a lot of the companies will fly you home back to the States or wherever they hire you from once a year or every 2 years, or there's a steady flow of travel back to the States that they provide.
Yeah. The third benefit, which if you have children is also a huge benefit, is that some of these companies will send your children to private schools, and international private schools at that. So these are some of the best schools in the world. So
there are a ton of benefits. You can look into more benefits depending on what job you're interested in, but let's just get started with the different companies and start going through them all.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, before we get started, we just have to have this disclaimer. We want everyone to know we don't endorse any of these companies. We're not mouthpieces for any of these companies. So make sure you do your own due diligence and research each company for yourself.
So Christina, let's start with number 5.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
The fifth category, and we're going from 5 and we're working our way down.
That's
right?
how it usually
5,
works.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
So number 5, it's not a company, but more of a category.
Right.
Okay. And these are the large corporations. So large corporations, they usually have a headquarters in the United States, but they have field offices throughout the world. So we're going to hone in on one example.
Yes.
Okay. So what's our example?
So our example is Google. Well, there's tons of different companies that you can look at, but we're just going to focus on Google and sort of apply that to all different large corporations. So Google has 60 different locations across the world, not including the United States, and they hire in all those countries as well. And I think when people think of Google, they think, oh, this is a tech company. You have to have some sort of tech background in order to get hired by Google, but that's not the case. They have a huge, diverse group of jobs that they offer, ranging from people that work in merchandising, sales, marketing, human resources. It's all across the board. One thing to keep in mind with Google, though, is that they have a really unique type of hiring process. So you really want to go through their page and look at their hiring process to make sure that you conform with all their requirements. One thing that's pretty interesting is that you can only apply for 3 jobs on Google in any 30-day period. So make sure that those jobs are really jobs that you're really interested in. And if you apply for 3, wait for that 30-day window to pass and then apply for 3 more. Okay, so number 4, the fourth category are travel companies.
Oh, yes.
We love to travel, if you haven't noticed already. But this is a great way to get a job abroad.
I think it's a great way to get a job abroad, and it's really a great way to kind of live luxuriously abroad. So the 2 companies we looked at were Airbnb and Hilton Worldwide. So if you go to Airbnb's site, they have a huge section on positions all over the world. And they hire all types of people, from facility managers to marketing people to technology folks to recruiters. And we also looked at Hilton. Hilton's site, I mean, there were literally thousands of positions. And we've stayed at Hiltons all over the world. And if you ever stay at a Hilton, you'll notice that the folks there have a name tag with the country that they're from, and it's like their flag. When we stayed at I think it was the Phuket Hilton.
Yes, in Thailand.
In Thailand. One of the folks that worked there, she was from the United States, and Hilton brought her particularly to Phuket just to work there.
And I really think her job was just to mingle with guests.
It was.
I really think that's as simple as it was. And she was brought from the United States. She just wore her name tag. It said United States on it. And then she was just pretty much mingling with the guests there that spoke English. It was a great job.
It's an awesome job. So the third category, and it's probably the biggest employer that we're going to talk about today.
It is the biggest, for sure.
Definitely the biggest.
Yeah.
And it's the U.S. federal government. I mean, they have jobs, literally thousands and thousands of jobs abroad.
Yes, they are the largest employer overseas, or the largest U.S. employer overseas. They have jobs or locations in more than 120 different countries throughout the world, and they hire U.S. citizens from the States to come to these jobs in these foreign locations, and they have great benefits. So before I get into the benefits I do want to point out that they have such a diverse group of jobs that are available. So we looked at their website today, and even today they have more than 500 open positions that they're hiring for in just the foreign locations alone. So that alone is a huge number of jobs, and the jobs range from anywhere from being a firefighter to a teacher to a facilities manager. I mean, there's such a range of jobs that are available, but some of the benefits are incredible too, because a lot of these jobs, they give housing allowances. They give free housing for people that come from the States and move abroad and live abroad and work in these foreign countries. And one of the benefits also is that you don't need to know the language.
No.
You don't need to know the language of the country that you're moving to. That's a great benefit, especially if you only know English.
Yeah. And some people will think, well, what federal agencies or federal jobs are abroad? Well, immediately we probably think of the State Department, but there's more than just the State Department. There's the U.S. Department of Agriculture, there's the Department of Defense, there's the Labor Department. Imagine, almost every federal agency that has some sort of international mission probably has a job abroad.
Our second category is international schools. So I love this concept of teaching at an international school because they're all, of course, throughout the world in many different countries. And this one, you just have to focus on the area that you want to live and find an international school there, because they're always looking for English-speaking teachers. But it's not only teachers, right?
Oh yeah, certainly. They hire certified teachers, but they also hire people that have support positions at the schools. So school nurses, PE teachers, swim coaches. They're positions that you don't necessarily have to be a certified teacher, but you're providing some sort of support to the teaching staff.
So let's use an example of a job that we found for international teaching. So there's a site called teachaway.com, and on that site they list all these different jobs that are available for international schools. So they list things from librarians to teachers to PE instructors. It's just a whole array of different jobs. But what's really cool about this site is that they also list the benefits that are associated with the job. So one job that I found, and there are tons on there, but I just honed in on one job. It was a teaching position in China, and it was a 2-year contract. It provided housing accommodations, so free housing. It provided an annual trip home after the first year. It provided a sponsor. It has all of these different listed benefits. It even provided schooling for your children if you bring your children. It provided free schooling. So these sites, of course, the benefits vary from place to place and whatever school you're looking at, but it's a great site to sort of hone in on where you want to go and what schools are available, what schools are hiring.
I love that idea of teaching jobs abroad, because imagine you teach for 9 months and then you get 3 months off.
Yeah.
You're already abroad. You can do so much traveling. So our number one, and this one I don't think a lot of people really think about, and it's actually staring you right in the face every day, and it's intergovernmental organizations. So you're probably like, what is that really? It sounds fancy, but what it is, they're organizations like NATO, the World Bank. These are these organizations that bring together multiple countries. Well, they have positions throughout the world. One in particular, the one that really sounds fascinating to me, is the NATO positions.
NATO.
NATO.
NATO. I just thought it was funny how he said it.
NATO.
So what about it? Sorry.
Okay, so NATO.
Yes.
So NATO, one of the things that's really interesting about NATO is that they're in Brussels. That's where their headquarters is. And so NATO brings together all of these people from all these international countries, and they work together in Brussels. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But the other organization I want to highlight is the World Trade Organization. I looked at their benefits page for their employees, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, of course, they offer the free housing. They offer you a free trip back home. I think it's every 2 years they send you back home. They also have 30 days of paid annual leave, in addition to federal holidays. And I think they listed 9 federal holidays. So that's almost 40 days off a year. It's a really great, I mean, it sounded like a really great gig.
Yeah.
We got a bonus.
We have a bonus.
Yes. So we said we were only going to do 5, but I tell you what, if you stuck around for this long, you get the bonus.
You get the bonus.
Okay, so there's one particular organization, right? And they're called
Worldwide Organizations on Organic Farms. So
Worldwide
Organizations on Organic Farms.
That is a long title, but you know what? It's a really cool organization.
They just call it WOOF.
Woof.
Woof. So the reason why we have this as a bonus is because this one it does provide free housing.
It does.
It doesn't provide you a salary. So what's interesting about this one is that you go and you get set up with a host in a different country, in a foreign country, and that host has an organic farm. And you go and you live with the host, you stay with them, the host gives you free housing and free food, no salary though, but in exchange for that, you work on their organic farm with them. So you can do it with a group of different people that are working with that or that are staying with that host, or you can do it by yourself. And one thing that's super cool that I really like is that you can actually do it as a family.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you have kids, your kids can come with you and stay at the farm with you. I think it's just a great idea. So there you have it. Those are our 5 different organizations or companies that we identified that hire in foreign locations, and you even got a bonus.
Yeah, you know what? If you have another company that you want to add to the comments box so that everyone else can see, add that. We'll call that the comment bonus.
Yes. All right. So if you like this video, please remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.